Okay, so what I want to do is actually show you what's involved in one of these tests, which is the Airburst test, right? And then I want you afterward to think about, as he's been doing, think about what are the limitations of this, given our goals here, how many of the goals do these satisfy? And he's emphasizing something else, which is we're over-satisfying a goal that doesn't have too much meaning here. So I want to do a couple of things here. One is there are certain things that lead to condom failure that you're hence not supposed to do, and one of them is oil-based lubricants, right? You see these commercials on television for Johnson & Johnson baby oil, and there's a little baby sitting there purring and whatever, and you think, what could be safer to use than oil? You know, this is what you're supposed to put on your baby. Let's put it on the condom too. That apparently is a no-no, although some people have been in their 40s before they actually found out about that. And so, we'll try that out with this particular test. And I'm going to we'll add oil to it and then let it incubate while we try one without oil. I hope you appreciate that there are no ends that I won't go to in furthering your education at this university. Okay, you get to sit there and degrade. So now we'll try one with no oil, and I want to make sure I don't get any oil on it. It's always better to do these without, well, to test without lubrication, but I think I got these at the student health building or whatever many years ago, and it was, you know, I didn't have the option of buying 5. I had to buy 500 or something like that, which I assured them was overkill for someone my age, but okay, a couple of O-rings. This is not exactly the device they use in the formal test. I've actually looked on the web to try and buy one, purely for class, of course, but I can't find them. So, you know, that's one thing that doesn't come up well on Google is devices for testing condoms. You can find videos, but okay, so your time as spectators is quickly coming to an end, so that's about where we're starting. How many think, show of hands, how many think it's going to break before it gets to A, before it gets to B, before it gets to C, before it gets to D, after D?
What are A, B, C, and D?
Yeah, the lines.
Of the line?
The lines, yeah. Did you feel like left out here? Do you want to? Okay, one of the big changes over the last 40, 50 years is all these compliance issues now, right? You can't take a piss at UT without filling out paperwork, and I'm sure that they want me to be safe in this demonstration here, so we'll put on these goggles. I probably also need a lab coat, and you know, I'm probably not supposed to use open-toed shoes. Why are you laughing? You live in a society where this is your government's idea of sex. You can put your phones down anytime. It's being taped anyway. Okay, it got past D, right? You gotta admit now, that is impressive. It's almost big enough for a guy's ego. And to your point, up there on your phone now, this definitely appears to be overkill in terms of what we need. What? Why is why not? Maybe not, right? But there are some things you couldn't do this with, right? So if you made them out of, what is it, polyurethane or whatever, some kind of plastic, you couldn't inflate them this way. You could ask, how much pressure do they take, but they wouldn't get this big. So this is a specific property of latex. And so, and in terms of why is it a bad thing, we're now going to try the same test where we've applied a substance to a condom that in theory isn't good for it. And so we can use this test to at least assess that. And I don't need to hold this up against the board nearly as much, but you'll get a rough idea whether it blows up as much as it did before. I often wonder what people think when they come in after this lecture, but yeah. Baby oil. So it's, what is it, mineral? It's mostly mineral oil, actually. Actually, the point of this was to show that this mechanical test can actually can be useful under some circumstances. So it helped us identify that the condom integrity is not the same when we've challenged it with, in this case, mineral oil.